Last minute episode number 96. Welcome back. Regular crew here. Dan's back from his scouting report.
Hello.
Actually, you know what?
I'm here.
Dan, you didn't listen to the podcast last week, did you?
No, I didn't. Greg apparently enraged some people.
Well, Greg enraged some people, but he put smiles on people's faces because he went full, nutso Chris Farley for 15, 20 minutes of it.
About what?
Just the Leafs and Phil Kessel being snubbed. Oh. But with the opening podcast, we mentioned that you were just belligerently drunk. And I seriously had three of our friends text and be like, was Dan actually bombed? Is that why you didn't have him on the podcast?
Yes. That is in fact 100% false.
There's no truth in that
I had
statement.
three people was Dan actually drunk? Is that why you wasn't
I was
on?
more drunk for that podcast than I think Dan was, and Dan wasn't on the podcast. I think that's why I got so angry. I just got back from Earl's having 5 beers in me.
Oh, you mentioned that too. And then there was a few times, when Greg gets so mad where his face gets red and the phlegm starts coming out of his mouth, he spit on Kevin 3 times. Because at one point in the podcast, Kevin's just sitting there, it's I just got spit on. All right, let's get into it. What do we do?
So, we're going to start with some Jets talk. We're going to go over a few interesting things that both Cam and I have to talk about, as this is a Jets podcast. And then we'll move into the Stanley Cup Final. We'll brush over some corrections that we have from last week's podcast, talk about Memorial Cup, and then I have 2 games for these guys to play because, one of them is just a fact, the other one's a game because it's going to be fun because hockey's a stupid sport.
We're all about fun.
Oh, and also we'll quickly dust over expansion talk as that's supposed to get announced sometime this week and probably get announced at the draft or at NHL Awards.
And probably make a lot of Canadians unhappy.
Make a lot of people very upset. Very upset. So, let's start first with Cam because I want to lead in with mine being a surprise. We'll say mine for last.
There's 2 things I have about the Jets. Okay. One, let's start off with a heavy-hitting news. No surprise. They signed Nelson Nogier to a 3-year entry-level contract. So, they're going to reunite the powerhouse pairing of Shakes and Noggin in the AHL because they were D partners for 2 years in Prince Albert. Fun facts that no one knew about except
I did not. I had no idea.
Grant Clutson also retired.
Oh, that sucks because of
back
injury.
Injuries.
Yeah.
True.
And hey, he was the first waiver pickup that the Jets had, and he did quite well for us. And then they signed him for an abundance amount of money. And
I think you're forgetting Antti Miettinen.
Was he a waiver signing?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because the Wild let him go, right?
Right. Okay.
I think Tampa signed him, but he had to clear because for some reason he had to clear waivers, and then the Jets picked him up.
See what Grant Clutson brought to the fans of Winnipeg is great jerseys where it was literally 2-4. There was a C and then a star, a star, some.
You know what? He was a very underrated defenseman. He was actually not a bad
when he
hockey
played.
Player.
Serviceable 5,
Very
6, 7.
Very good.
Totally serviceable.
Very much worth the time that he put in here. Played actually quite well the first season when he played with Dustin Byfuglien too.
I'd love to see him come back, not even necessarily with the Jets, but just in
a hockey role.
In a hockey role, yeah.
I think he likes Winnipeg too. Not sure.
Hey, did we mention Chris Phillips retired?
No, but Chris Phillips retired.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say because Curtis.
Now we have
guys. He retired.
Because Curtis Lazar has.
Did you hear who retired?
Did Chris Phillips retire?
Yes, he
did.
did.
Sure. He did.
Okay.
Well, Curtis Lazar.
Did you mention it?
I just now. So Curtis Lazar has been living with Chris Phillips for the last couple of years, and so when Chris Phillips retired, he's like, I really hope Phillips gets a hockey ops job with the Sens so I could still get rides to practice.
Perfect.
All right, but so Nelson Nogier's 3-year entry-level contract, and what I read, obviously, it's on the Ovi levels of coming to Winnipeg. Elliot Friedman wrote 30 thoughts, or maybe not in his 30 thoughts, but it was in a side article where Colorado is highly interested in acquiring a certain Mr. Jacob Trouba.
Because it looks like they're not going to be able to re-sign Tyson Barrie.
And I don't know, why, aren't they going to have similar money?
But it makes no sense, really.
Well, Trouba's got,
but
maybe Trouba still has, you don't know what his ceiling is. You've seen what Barrie has to offer.
The other reason is, too,
money,
maybe Barrie doesn't want to be
decision,
there.
though, right?
That too, maybe Barrie does. Well, yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at the stupid money they're giving Francois Beauchemin and Eric Johnson. Oh, God.
And Jerome McGinley.
And Soderbergh. Oh, it goes on. It's
so
horrendous.
2 teams that don't want to pay their star defenseman a lot of money are going to swap their star defenseman.
I don't know if the Jets will go after Barry, but they could certainly trade Trouba and see what they can get.
But here's the issue.
In the division, though?
Here's the other thing, is if they were to trade him to Colorado, hypothetical, or Colorado does the unthinkable with an RFA and actually signs him to an offer sheet, which we all know how offer sheets work out, Philadelphia Flyers. Also,
what do you mean Philadelphia? Fuck you, Nashville. That's what that was.
But
I get it.
They grabbed Nashville's balls and like, you don't get both of them. You only get one. You gotta pick.
And that was
You gotta pick.
Holmgren's like, make a decision! Make it! And they're like, no, we want both. He's like, I will, left or right. You're picking one. It's gone. Sorry.
No, but really, like, think about... The crazy thing is the compensation you get for signing an RFA is ridiculous.
It's so
Like,
worth it to let him go.
Oh, yeah.
So worth it.
If, let's say, like, Colorado says, we'll give him $6 million. Great. The Jets get a first and a third from Colorado. And
chances are one of those are going to pan out.
Yeah. The other thing is Colorado's picked in the top 10 quite a few times recently.
And I don't think...
Most recently, Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah, that guy.
Him.
We were real high on that guy. Speaking of, he was 96. Good Italian.
Wow. And you know what else 96 has in common with Colorado?
Fucking 9 in it. Guys.
They won the cup.
Didn't they just trade somebody?
96?
Damn right.
Damn, that too. Oh, I was referencing just literally the number.
You know what else happened in 96? The Jets left.
Yeah, that's true.
You're talking about Colorado and Winnipeg.
Who,
I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure... Oh, yes. While we're on the Avalanche, Connor Bleakley is now re-entering the NHL entry draft this year.
Ah, is he?
Yes.
Nice. Okay,
So, Jets, late first-round pick, potentially. I don't actually know why the Avalanche didn't sign him. I don't know if it's... but he's re-entering.
No, he got traded to Arizona for the... who the hell did they make a trade for? Boedker. He was in the Boedker trade.
Was he?
Yeah, and then... And what happens... Boedker, sorry. And what happens when Arizona gets guys who can re-enter the draft? They fucking re-enter the draft.
Exactly.
Blake Wheeler.
I wonder if Brendan Perlini...
He didn't re-enter the
Brendan,
draft.
Oh,
He was just a
you're
free
right.
agent.
Free agent, my bad.
They just never saw him.
Brendan Perlini might... he would have to come up with that team next year, I would assume, right?
We still got a... Oh, no, yeah. He's done.
Okay,
Junior, right?
So, I would think so. So, nonetheless, do you actually see Jacob Trouba getting traded this offseason?
No.
Or do you see the Jets signing him?
They'll sign him.
I would like to see him get traded, but to who, I don't know. To whom?
It's so hard to make a hockey deal nowadays.
They're going to sign him.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Especially now that Travis Hammock's off the table. I don't think he's going anywhere.
And think about...
I'll be devil's advocate and say I'd like to see him go, but
I still think they're going to take him to arbitration and get him a 1-year bridge deal, but they're going to sign him.
And we'll talk about Travis Hamonic in a second. But the last thing you want to do is... Or actually, if I'm the Jets and I'm in a powerful position, the last time a big name defenseman was traded, at least that I can think of, was Keith Yandel. And we all know how that worked out for the Arizona Coyotes. Anthony Duclair.
Yeah, okay, hold on though.
Yandel was a much more...
And New York trading young guys.
But Yandel was a much more established defenseman than Trouba is, so...
Understandable. But the fact that we don't really know what the trade market is because the last team that did a big blockbuster trade was Winnipeg. Did we see anything crazy last year? Not really.
No, big signings, but no trades.
Nothing off the top of my head. What was the
big Eric Stahl might have been the biggest one from New York, but even then, that wasn't.
Yeah, but that was like everyone's like, okay, where's he going?
Well,
I know.
There's been Stahl. There's been Kessel was. I mean, it was a big trade.
That was a big trade, but that was last summer.
That wasn't a blockbuster.
Here's the thing: it hasn't happened in a very long time, minus the Jets deal with Buffalo, where you got roster player for roster player. Mm-hmm. Like the last time I can think of that before the Jets trade was probably the Shattenkirk deal with Shattenkirk and
Eric Johnson,
Chris Stewart, and who was the guy that went? There was one other guy in that deal, and I can't think of who it was.
When I think like blockbuster player for player, I right off the hop automatically go to Sagan. Like Louis Eriksson didn't work out that great, but like that one was like damn.
Keep Tyler Sagan in your mind because we'll come back to something later.
Okay.
So. Jacob Trouba, Jets next year. Cam says no. Dan says yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm with Dan. Like, I totally have Dan's mindset, but I'd like to see
You can't
what they could do for.
It'd be interesting to see what he could get, but this is
would be.
This is a storyline we'll follow going from kind of Stanley Cup final to draft.
Well, now is when you get the rumblings because it's like, okay,
but
it's almost
it's
done.
also
I still think people are they're a little short-sighted. I mean, it's too early to give up on them. Let's put it that way.
It's also the fact that right now there's nothing else to talk about for the media in Winnipeg.
No, I know.
And it's the same thing with, the Jets going to take Puljujärvi. No, they're not. Because they're not stupid. These reporters just need something to talk about. They're obviously weighing the pros and cons of Puljujärvi, and a lot of people are upset with Laine because he's cocky, but that's fine. You'll see how it works for Ovechkin.
Yeah.
One of the best players
I'm upset
ever.
with Puljujärvi with Patrick Laine because he cut his hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks more like he's got a weird shaped head, man.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not saying Trouba's untradeable, but I'm saying they'd have to get a really good player in return, and I don't think anyone's going to give up the caliber of player that they would part with him for.
But the thing is, too, is the Jets, it is so hard. And, right-handed defensemen are a commodity in the NHL. Really, defensemen that are good are a commodity in the NHL.
If you're a right-handed defenseman and you've scored a goal in the last 2 years, you've automatically bumped up your next contract to $500,000.
This is
a bonus of $500,000.
Before we move on to my last little tidbit about the Jets, I just have a quick question for Cameron. How many of the Philadelphia Flyers prospect defensemen are left-handed, and how many of them are right-handed?
Out of the big five?
Out of the big five.
Let me give you a hard answer on this. None of them
are what?
Are right-handed. They're
exactly.
all lefties.
Lefty a little bit easier.
Unless, maybe Jesper Peterson, but he's not in, the big four. And the four being, if we're still counting, Ghost, Provorov, Morin, and the other guy.
Guys, you know
No, Konechny's a forward.
Oh, I don't know.
The other guy, I'm so sorry.
Do you know what I just realized?
What?
I'm a right-handed defenseman.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're a commodity.
Where's my $600K? I'm going next year, next draft.
You're going.
I'm getting in there.
No, but you can't get this. You're sitting at $100K right now because you haven't scored yet.
True.
Yeah. You get that goal, boom, $500K.
Hey, Cam,
done.
quick question.
Go.
Jacob Trouba, Ivan Provorov, straight up.
Not a goddamn chance.
Please?
No.
What if we ask nicely?
Nope.
What if we give you a little background?
No, nothing.
No? Okay.
No.
So,
right.
Heard from a reliable source, and I can't really say who it was, but it's somebody that works with the Jets.
Okay.
Passed it on to somebody else who I know.
Okay, I just want to say before you say anything about this,
is going down.
This is why you say loose lips sink chips.
Sink ships.
Loose links chips.
Loose lips sink ships. But he's a client of his, so that's how this came
Can
up.
you stop? You're
get
literally
to
needling to who this person is.
No.
It's a person we know.
It's a person, and they do things.
And
Apparently,
they're a human being.
The Jets had offered Andrew Ladd, a certain contract, and they said, hey, this is the contract. You have this contract. If he had signed yes to that contract, which I believe was 6 for 6, if he had signed yes to that contract, Dustin Byfuglien was off to the New York Islanders for Franz Nielsen and
Casey Cizikas.
And Hamonic. Wow. I don't even want to touch Casey Cizikas. Holy shit, they overpaid for him. But that's another story for another day. He's a fourth liner. Don't give me that face.
What do you mean?
These are the deals that break your team.
He got 5 years, 6.75. That's like 2-ish.
He didn't get 5 years.
He got 5 years.
He's getting $3.25 a year.
Yeah, that's worth it. It's
not worth it.
It's Casey Cizikas.
He has 50 career points. Are you fucking kidding me?
Worth it.
3.25 a year.
Get it. Get it.
Nonetheless, that apparently was the deal on the table.
Wow.
At least.
Interesting.
So if he had signed it, that would have been, obviously, I don't know what else the Jets were giving up, but it was Byfuglien for Hamonic essentially were the main parts.
Man.
And as you guys know, Kyle Okposo and Franz Nielsen, both free agents at the end of the year.
Interesting.
New York has an interesting summer, and they decided to sign the guy on their lowest priority, which is Casey Cizikas, which makes 0 sense.
You need a guy anchor in that line.
$3 million is pointless. It's like saying, hey, Chris Thorburn, here's $3 million. Boom.
No.
You think his contract's bad? Casey Cizikas is 3 times
Casey
as much.
Cizikas is young and has a future. Chris Thorburn just old.
Chris Thorburn was young and he had a future once. And now look where he is.
Great point.
Nonetheless,
Same goddamn
would you have been okay
place.
if Hamonic and Byfuglien were the defensemen swapped for each other?
Yes.
Because the money would have been there to sign Ladd, and the money would have been there to have Trouba.
I still think Byfuglien is a better choice to keep over Ladd. I do.
100% agree.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying...
No, if you had the choice of having Hamonic and Ladd at 6 points, 6 for 6, or Byfuglien for his deal, which is like $7 million, which would you rather have?
I'd take Byfuglien.
I take Byfuglien.
It's more money, but you're going to get more of them.
So,
no, I would take Byfuglien too. I didn't...
Thank you,
Interesting.
Ladd, for not signing that deal.
Yeah. Oh wait, he's a
free agent now
too. While we're on the thing, I read an interview. He did an interview with Elliot Friedman over the weekend, and they basically saying how he's not going to sign with Chicago because they told him they can't afford it. And he said he hasn't closed the door on coming back to Winnipeg. So please don't do it.
Winnipeg should close the door on signing him.
Please don't do it.
They are so empathetic of. They just are like,
he was a good person. He was your first captain, but you have to let him fly. He's a peacock. You gotta let him fly.
Let him go to Florida.
You gotta let him aim for the bushes. Speaking of Florida, guys, did you see those jerseys?
Yes, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Awful. Really?
Oh,
damn.
Beautiful.
Come on.
So much better.
No
beautiful.
way.
They're joining the trend of let's make it look like an old school jersey.
But here's the thing.
No.
You want to know something about that trend? And Cam also alluded to this last year.
I don't like it.
Lots of room for ads on that jersey.
Very streamlined.
Very streamlined. Speaking of ads on jerseys, wow, we are going just all over the place.
Doesn't matter.
Speaking of ads on jerseys, World Cup jerseys will now have ads on them.
Really?
Yes, World Cup of Hockey. That little tournament with 2 teams that aren't even from countries.
While we are on the subject, what anthem do they play if Team North America wins?
No, Team Europe gets Europe Final Countdown.
Oh, nice. Shit.
Yes, that's awesome.
That's what they get.
I am cheering for them.
I actually don't know if that's true. That's just my own opinion.
Oh, we should. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's as a podcast. That's when Europe scores. You.
Team North America.
Sorry, Justin Bieber.
No.
It has to be something.
No.
It has to be current.
By the way,
has to be current.
Has to be current.
Trying to think.
Under 23, so it's got to be a youngin.
It's got to be like what's popular nowadays.
Listen to
what
pop
song
right
was
now.
popular 23 years ago?
Go, Dan. That's your job right now.
That's what it should be.
Number 1 song 23 years ago.
From 1993.
Okay, go. Dan, get on it.
Number 1 song in 1993. I'm trying to think what it probably would be a Metallica song. I would assume.
93,
or maybe Guns N' Roses.
Might even be Michael Jackson.
Might be Michael Jackson.
Beat
it. Beat it, Michael Jackson.
No, that was like 80s, wasn't it?
Doesn't matter.
No, this is, whatever it is, that's the song.
And it has to be a North American artist. So you look that up.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. They're Team North America.
Oh, yeah. Top 100 Billboard 1993. Go. Dan, what do we got? Number
What's number 1.
This is it.
It's a goodie. It's a goodie.
What is it?
I Will Always Love You by Whitney
Houston.
Oh, yeah.
That is what it has to be.
I want to see Connor McDavid lifting whatever the hell they're giving out.
It's the giant Kleenex box.
Oh, yes.
Giant Kleenex box.
Whitney Houston.
Has to happen. Oh.
That's awesome.
Geez. So we can get off topic pretty quickly. So, final word on the Jets. Hopefully keeping Trouba. Good thing that we signed Byfuglien over Ladd. Florida Panthers jerseys are beautiful.
They look like, I know everyone's heard this joke. They look like an alarm security system logo.
Hey, they aren't terrible. I just like the old ones better.
By the way, Bar Down, I hope Cam can find it because I blocked them on Twitter because they keep throwing ads everywhere. Nonetheless, saw it on Facebook. Bar Down put like the Florida Shield and put it to all other 29 teams. Some of the teams...
Oh, okay.
Tampa Bay Lightning, New York Rangers looked mint with that Florida Panther shield. And I'll be honest, the best thing I saw was when they put, I think it was Simba's face instead of the Panther. Nice. They put the Simba. I'm like, but he's a lion! Not a Panther, he's a lion.
Why didn't they use the Panther from the new, or from Lion King? Not Lion King, Jungle Book.
Because it's a Black Panther, and they're not Black Panthers. That's Carolina. That's Black
copyright
Panthers.
material.
Carolina's Black Panthers?
Well,
they're Hurricanes.
No, the football
team. Yeah, no, I missed it too.
While we're on the list of things we saw on the weekend, I saw an article about the 8 teams Steven Stamkos should sign with.
Hey, no, that's part of the game later.
Oh, okay.
We're not allowed to play that game.
No game!
The picture was Steven Stamkos in a certain jersey, and it looked pretty damn good.
Oh,
Detroit Red Wings?
Nope.
Winnipeg
Look
Jets.
at the
Yep.
smile
What?
on his face.
No!
It
Why
makes
not?
no sense!
Why not?
Why would they pay him like
Why not?
It didn't make sense, but it looked pretty
If
damn
Ovi's
good.
get, they're like, now's
No.
the time in Winnipeg. They need that extra piece.
If
So
you-
what? We're getting Ovi, Stamkos, and
Easy.
No, get Stamkos sign him for 3 years. at like
Winnipeg
10
was
each.
number 2. Toronto was number 1.
Toronto's not.
Montreal.
anymore.
He looked pretty good. In
The
that,
rationale
actually.
was if he wants the most chance to win the most cups, he should go to Winnipeg because they have the best prospect.
Whoa!
That's
oh, the
what-
prospect.
The
Okay,
prospects.
okay.
We have the best future. That was the basis.
But we've been saying that about our city. It's like, hey, our city's kind of shitty now, but wait a couple of years. And then, okay,
Yes.
guys, our city's still
You know
really
what's
shitty.
funny?
Wait a couple of years.
My dad was our age when they were saying that about the Bombers, and guess what? Still saying it! Still there!
Okay, we got to move on to this Stanley Cup final. So, San Jose embarked on a new journey last Monday, their first ever Stanley Cup final, and they had to play against a team called the Pittsburgh Penguins. And a lot of experts were picking San Jose to win based on their relentless scoring that they've had all playoffs long. Did you guys watch Game 1?
I've watched every game.
So have I. So Pittsburgh scores first, and they score again, and dominated the first first period. Absolutely made San Jose look pedestrian.
Well,
Good word use. Ooh,
yeah, I know.
pedestrian.
Is my word of day calendar,
Nice.
and it was like, it's what
No,
you
but
hit
what-
with your car.
What?
Pedestrian.
Nice. 50 plus 50 points. Grab that
Exactly.
final.
What throws you in jail?
Hitting a pedestrian. So I was like, I could probably use that in an actual sentence. That was not hitting someone.
But in regards to like right off the hop in the first game, what all like the analytics and everyone was saying was, will the Sharks special teams be able to hold up against Penguins 5-on-5?
Are
The
damn
best.
good.
The
Oh,
best.
fucking amazing.
They're good.
And
5-on-5, very good.
You know,
V good.
as we saw in Game 1, and we'll move to Game 2, but kind of the theme of the series is they don't need to score because they can score when they feel like it. Because they can just throw a relentless attack. They have figured out San Jose's game plan. You could see it in Game 1. They're like, well, you want to just dump it in. We'll put a guy on the far boards to trap that puck, and he's going to beat your guy racing in. I was screaming at my television. Even in the first period of Game 1, I'm like, stop dumping the puck in. They're trapping it every time.
Yeah, and their
You
D
gotta
is
carry-
so good. They just hit it down,
Exactly.
catch it, put it down.
And
You're
yes,
not doing
it's
it.
going to work sometimes, and it has led to goals in this series, which we'll get to. But at the end of the day, it's something that they need. I think they did a good adjustment in Game 3, but we'll obviously get to that. It's been a frustrating watch, that's for sure. But after a rough first period, they came back with a really strong second period, scored 2 goals, tied the game up, and then, the HBK line does what they do best and broke some fucking hearts Monday night. With like 3
Heartbreak Kids.
minutes left.
Heartbreak Kids.
Hold on, but out of darkness comes a light of. Did you guys hear the clip from like?
Oh, the
Bonito! Did you
yes
see?
from
Dan.
from Hockey Night in Canada, Punjab.
Oh.
The announcer is incredible. However, a lot of people are like, "Well, yeah, he's like a soccer announcer, and this is hockey, and we don't like that."
No,
And that's what the old people are like.
The reasoning behind him calling it was
Damn
because
old people.
he was writing out the lines like on his like stat
Yeah.
sheet, and he wrote Bonino, 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 and so when he read it, he was literally like Bonino, 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 Bonino.
Bonino!
It's so awesome.
Banana.
It gets you so excited.
We need more announcers like that.
Yeah.
I want guys who like react
Scream.
like us. Or those football announcers, remember back in the day that super famous clip of like high school kids playing
Remember
Oh,
football?
they're the beds on the field.
No, not
When
that.
they run the kickback, I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, that guy. I'm gonna puke. That's just sick and heartbreaking.
You want to hear a good one? Listen to the radio announcer when the Lightning won the Stanley Cup in 2004. Holy Jesus.
Okay, I'll try and find that
Loses
one.
his mind.
Nonetheless, it was Game 1, 3-2 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Took a 1-0 series lead. And then Game 2 happened. And Cam, you can talk about Game 2.
Sam Crosby's a goddamn cheater. He cheats on faceoffs.
Cam, everybody cheats on
He's a
themselves.
goddamn cheater.
Everybody cheats.
No, he doesn't.
You're not making any friends right now, Cameron. Just say he's the best player in the world.
No, he is not.
Admit it.
I will not. He's a cheater.
The one thing that I have to say is I don't get a lot of opportunities to watch Crosby throughout the year. Holy shit, is he just
Completely average, I know.
Something else to watch.
Completely average.
You know who he's better than?
Don't you do it!
Every single NHL player.
Oh.
He is
I'm
that
okay
much
with that.
better.
I thought you were going to just single out.
No,
okay.
I wasn't just going to say Giroux, but he is better than Claude
Ginger
Giroux.
Jesus? No. Ginger Jesus could walk on Wadner.
No,
Wadner.
Is it because he's ginger and he doesn't have a soul? Thus he's not living, so he can walk on water?
I haven't thought about it that way.
Mind blown.
Yeah, no, Sidney Crosby's real good. And
he admitted it.
in the second game, I don't know which period it was, where Jumbo Joe, he was tying up Jumbo Joe, and then Jumbo Joe punches his helmet off.
Yeah, he's just like,
And then
fuck you.
gives him a freebie right in the back.
You could tell it was I think the Sharks were very frustrating game too because Pittsburgh got up 1-0 off of the goal that Phil Kessel had that really I think could have let it go in, but he's like, no,
He didn't want Bonino. Yeah, he's like,
mine.
not today, Bonino. He hit it in.
No, I'm winning that Conn Smythe. Which I had another thought. If they're going to deny Phil Kessel U.S. team, he's not getting Conn Smythe. They'll give it to someone else. They'll pick a fan.
No.
Hey, man in the blue hat, you get it.
No, Gary Bettman has they don't have a point. Like the management of US will not have a say in NHL.
No, I'm just saying.
I hate to burst your bubble, but he's not going to get it even if they win the cup. Matt Murray's going to get it if they win the cup.
I don't think he's been that fantastic.
What's that?
I don't think he's been that fantastic.
What?
I'm sorry.
He's 21 and he's going to win a Stanley Cup potentially.
Name me another goalie, because I know the goalie for San Jose never got pulled in favor of another goalie this series. He started every single game for his team, unlike Matt Murray.
What?
Jones got pulled though.
But Jones started every game. Matt Murray has not.
Fleury's played in a game?
Yeah, he played Game 5.
Not this series. You mean this playoff run?
Yes, that's what I said.
You said this series.
I said this playoffs.
Oh.
Who's lost more games though? Jones.
He's played better teams.
Washington?
New York?
Not a bad team.
They were awful in that series. They were pretty bad. And San Jose went through Stanley Cup winners every even year of the LA Kings. They went through Nashville Predators who beat the Ducks.
Look out.
I think Murray's getting the Conn Smythe. That's just me. Kessel's been good. He's been their best player. But I don't know.
I think it's hard. I think it's going to be a tough decision. I think the final 4 games of the series is going to determine who gets it. I'd be surprised if it's...
I have a comment relating to this.
Okay.
I might as well read it. Cod Nation commented, "Hey guys, here's my predictions for the Cup Finals. Sharks win 4-3. Reasoning for the Sharks and not Pens is because the Sharks have Chia Burns, Jumbo Joe, and Patrick Marleau.
Chia Burns.
Because first we know they can keep up with Crosby, Malkin, and the HBK line, but the Sharks also have depth too. They have played a couple tougher series than the Pens, and have more rest, so it was a tough choice, but I also hate Crosby, but I like Gino. So yeah, Robbie from Spokane. Go Chiefs, go." I just want to say, why did I bring that up? Because you're saying they've played tougher series, but wouldn't that make the Penguins the favorite then and like the better team to be playing? Because they're more well rested.
You are right. Yes.
Oh no, we're all on Team Shark.
I know we are, but no, like that's 100% right. They have played tougher series, and I think and it almost took them a couple games to get into the series. You saw it in Game 3, but going back to Game 2, they got a lucky goal with Justin Braun shooting it from the point, and luckily went in. The one thing that San Jose, all they need to do is have their shots start hitting the net, because right now Pittsburgh is blocking everything.
Justin Braun's goal in the third game was utter garbage. Like
all the goals in the third game were garbage. None of those were nice goals. They're just like, oh, that tipped off someone.
Oh, I didn't see it. Like, hey, Justin Braun's the first goal in for the Sharks in Game 3. Justin Braun Matt Murray was just standing there, and next thing you know, like looks down, and the puck's like coming out from between his legs.
Yeah, and
the overtime goal was a top corner.
It hit Matt Murray's helmet.
He didn't see it, but I mean,
well,
just get shots on. That's what
Murray saw it. It hit him in the face and then went in.
Oh, okay.
But we'll get to that in a second. Game 2 was finished by Sidney Crosby setting up a play to Letang off a draw, right to Connor Sheary. And the worst thing was I watched the entire game.
Face-off, yeah.
I watched the entire game. I
Son of a
recorded
bitch.
the overtime. I had to leave for hockey. I said, no one tell me what happens in overtime. I get to hockey. They're like, hey, by the way, overtime was like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I hope Sharks scored. And like and I knew it was only 5 minutes long. So knowing that it's going to end, every rush that San Jose had, I'm like, come on, ah! And then went back to Pittsburgh. I'm like, no.
No. Oh no.
And then off that face, I'm like, this is where it's gonna happen, isn't it? I know it's gonna happen here. I'm like, fuck this! And I like shut the TV off, went downstairs, went to bed, and cried.
You shut the TV off before it happened.
I'm so glad you got to see it because just calling back to a bunch of episodes ago, World Juniors, I recorded the gold medal game because Buster and I were watching it together. And I forgot to do extra time because I'm new to DVR. I only did 15 minutes extra. The game ended 13 minutes into the 15 minutes. We didn't even get to see the medals get handed out. We just saw the goal. Minute later it ended.
You DVR, you set it for at least an hour after.
I do 5 hours now. I do 5.
See, if it's hockey.
Yeah, 5 hours.
I fell into the trap the next day. My mom's like, why did you record like the National and Coronation Street? I was like, overtime, Mom! Overtime! You gotta know.
You just gotta be. You never know.
You never know.
It's about the intangibles.
Yeah, so what do I have? I have hockey tonight, recording the game, have the National recorded after, because I know I'll be home after 11. When is the National over? 11. I'll be fine.
And what channel did you set it to when you left so you don't have it ruinsies? God damn it, Greg. You gotta do Food Network.
I'm hoping my mom.
I've done that a couple of times.
Where you're like, yeah, game time. Damn it! It's not even like you don't see the highlights. You see the ticker.
Yep.
And your eyes just go and you're like, no, why is it? Why do I have to wait an hour when I want to see the score, but when I don't, it's like, hey, look at peekaboo. It's right there in your face.
You know what's great? When you record a game after work and you come home and watch it, and then it's about to go to overtime, and then you accidentally hit stop on the record, so it goes back to TSN, and then you see the overtime score right before overtime starts. Waste of like 2 hours.
Yes, and you stayed off media and everything.
Yep.
So to get back on track here.
Damn it.
Game 3, Saturday night. First, San Jose. What are you doing with your hands?
Excited.
Stop.
Got some energy.
Stop.
He's fired up.
San Jose, first home game ever in the Shark Tank, and first home game for the San Jose Sharks.
First home game ever?
Like, that's in the Stanley Cup final. Dan, get with the time.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be hilarious. They actually have a new arena just for the Stanley Cup final.
If, like, a team, like... what if,
you can't play a home game until you make the Stanley Cup final.
What if, like, say, last year the Islanders had a new arena, not the horseshit Barclays, but, like, an actual one.
A real arena.
And then they're like, we made the playoffs, and then they're like, the only time you get to see it early is if we make Stanley Cup finals. And then they're like, guess what, we made it!
It'll be ready June 1st, if you'll be playing then.
They're like, challenge accepted.
But, by the way, we have Taylor Swift in here June 2nd, so you can't come in here before Taylor Swift.
Okay, though... Places are rocking.
Both
very loud.
I have to say, the Consol Energy Center, holy shit, that seemed loud. And then you went to the Shark Tank, you're like, yeah, hockey can work in the States. It really, really can.
It's in a concentrated area to work.
It's the Stanley Cup final. I bloody hope they be loud. Just saying.
But it seems like the Sharks fans are into it.
They're not the worst.
I've never really had any hate for a San Jose Shark fan because they're San Jose Shark fans.
I'm just saying.
And they've had a pretty rough go.
You go to a Pittsburgh Penguins game in round 1, and if they're winning with 10 minutes left, everyone leaves.
Well, it's Pittsburgh. They got better things to do.
That shows confidence in their team.
Maybe.
They're like, no, they can close it out. We're good. And then they leave.
They don't know that actually if
they have good
goes
fans.
20 minutes, they think it only goes like
they have
10
good fans right now.
Actually, the problem with Pittsburgh is after the 10-minute mark, that's probably when they stopped serving the beer. So like, well, this is why we came. So
beat the traffic.
So Game 3 happened. Once again, Pittsburgh scored the first goal, and I think that's one of the biggest things going in Game 4 and beyond for San Jose is they need to get the first goal of the game because you can't keep playing catch up. Because what happened? Pittsburgh goes up 1-0. San Jose comes back, makes it 1-1. Pittsburgh makes it 2-1. They tie it up, make it 2-2. Then, luckily, Dunskoy scores off of a wraparound, kind of just came around the net, shot it, went off Matt Murray's mask, went in, and Dunskoy's reaction, he was just so proud, so happy. Then, Jumbo Joe, you're on the bench, he's like in a state of shock, and then he just like goes insane, and it's like...
Did you see the clip of Goodrow? He missed the goal because he line changed as like Dunskoy was shooting. And so he's literally opening the game. Goodrow, number 68.
Who the hell is Carlson.
Carl. No, it's Goodrow.
There's no one named Goodrow on their team.
Go to the team. There's a Goodrow on the team.
Carlson is 68.
It's Goodrow. Do it. Anyways, one of the numbers.
You know your team's good when you're in the Stanley Cup final. People are like, "Who? Who's that guy?"
What?
Do you mean Tierney?
No, that's 50. Chris Tierney.
68 is Carlson.
It's not. I want to see with my face. My face eyes.
I'll be gladly wrong.
Oh, hey, what is... I'll be gladly wrong, because it is. I'm
No,
right.
no, I can't look, because what happens if I look?
I
The
will
score
check.
is there,
Did you
dumbass.
see? Did you
I
see?
didn't see the score,
Don't
but I
get
almost
mad at
did.
me. Call me. Here, I'll do it right now.
You're on the scores. Don't look.
I know.
Here,
I
I'll
know.
close it for you.
I
I'll
know.
close it.
No, I'm good.
I got it. Maybe.
Go to 68. It's Goodrow.
It's not
It's
Goodrow. It's
Goodrow.
Carlson.
It's Goody Roseman. Anyways.
Oh, so the score is... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck you. No facial reactions.
I didn't. Okay, this sucks for audio. He missed the reaction. He missed, like, he's getting on the
missed
bench
the
going
goal.
to grab water, and everyone's losing their mind. He's like, oh, hey! And then he jumps
We
out.
scored!
We did it! We made it!
That's like when you...
Goodrow is 89.
Oh, so 68
And I've
is
never heard of him in my life.
Carlson. Damn it, you're right, Greg. I'm sorry. Okay, 68 or Goodrow. I'm not sure who it was. One of them missed the goal.
Pretty sure... The one storyline right now is Thomas Hurdle's out too. Thomas Hurdle out for Game 4 as well with a
So
lower
that
body
means
injury. He's
number...
89 Goodrow will probably be playing.
No, number 9, because Zubras has
Zubras?
been... Yeah.
But Zubras has been in and out of the lineup, and they have subbed him in with Nieto.
He's a
Or
Matt
Yeah.
Nieto would be the
Matt
other
Nieto.
guy then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodrow is probably in the press box.
I didn't even know that Zubras still played hockey.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
God damn it! What kind of host are you?
He doesn't know anything about hockey.
I'll fill you in. I made a cam bet again. For what is it? Treats of Pizza. If Team Europe wins a game, I'll buy a Treats of Pizza because they're not winning a game.
Their team is awful, so we won't hear the final countdown if their team wins.
We didn't
I'll
get
be
a
shocked if we hear one. No, I'm just kidding.
We didn't get a Treats of Pizza this year.
Yeah,
Thanks, Justin Falk. Jesus.
You really.
That's why he's
fucked
not on
us
Team
that
USA,
one.
guys.
Yeah.
That's why he's not on Team USA.
Mother Falker.
Okay, where are we rolling to now? We covered Jeff.
Well, no, let's finish the series up.
The flow on this episode
So
is
we
just
have...
great.
It's nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Guaranteed Game 5. What do you see happening Game 4 and beyond?
San Joseman are winning Game 4 and 5, losing in 6.
Winning 7.
I want it to happen.
Shark-
You know what? At
Sharks-
this point, I just want a Game 7.
Sharks are winning Game 4 and Game 5 and Game 6, so I can win a friggin' round of this friggin'
No, you
bet
can't
for
because
once.
I also have them in 6.
God damn.
And I have Pavelski who has more points right now.
That's the one thing
This
I'll have
is
to say
awful.
about Pittsburgh right now is Joe Pavelski, Joe Thornton, that first line has basically been held to nothing. Same with Logan Couture. It seems that they've done such a good job defensively, and they've really focused in on who to stop. And they did it with Ovechkin. They did it with Kuznetsov. They're able to do it with the triplets. They can shut lines down. The biggest thing is I feel that if they get down in a game, they might open up to more faults, and that's when we could see San Jose really take a game away. The other thing, too, with Pittsburgh is they haven't really taken penalties in this series.
And if they have, they're just like...
They happen.
Yeah.
Penalties. It's like, oh, that happens. That, sometimes you just get penalties for playing hockey. It's what happens.
Hockey play.
Sometimes you get a penalty when a guy's holding your arm, and then apparently it's holding the stick.
That was a call about our beer league game the other day.
That was.
Greg got a penalty.
For doing nothing.
My first flashback was 2013. I'm sorry, Game 7. I figured something happened and it was still sore. Sore spot.
2013? That was 11.
The Leafs.
2011.
That was
2013,
That
Game
was
7.
2011, trust me. Okay. I'm not a hockey expert.
No, you're not.
That was
Pretty much,
2013.
it's 11.
No, it wasn't.
Yep. It was the year the Bruins won the cup. It was 11.
Okay, so we all wanted to go 6 and 7. Realistically, could it end as early as Thursday night?
Yep.
Well, will it end as early as Thursday
I
night?
really don't want it to.
Not really don't want it. Do you expect it to, yes or no?
No.
If Pittsburgh wins tonight, it's
It's
over
over.
on Thursday.
You know what? Yeah.
I'm not saying-
Okay, is that the question you're asking?
I'm not-
That's the question I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm not saying
If Pittsburgh
if the
wins
Sharks-
tonight,
yeah.
yeah, they're winning at home in their ball in New Jersey.
If the
I like 'em.
if the Sharks win tonight, I'm not saying they're going to win the cup. I'm just saying it's not. Well, it can't be over Thursday. Yeah.
If Sharks win tonight, there's no way it's over on Thursday, so it means we get guaranteed
But if
Saturday.
Pittsburgh wins tonight, I think it's done.
Either way, next episode you'll hear us talk about who won the Stanley Cup and who won Conn Smythe and how long it took Gary Bettman until he could start talking with all the booze raining down.
They won't.
They will, especially if they announce a team going to Las Vegas.
San Jose will not boo.
Pittsburgh will,
Yeah.
especially if they just lost the Cup.
That's a good point.
It's true.
Especially if they're like, and please come get your cup, Joe Pavelski. Boo! By the way, it's Las Vegas. We're going to Las Vegas, 2017.
He's gonna announce it during the presentation.
No, he's not. But
That would be
really
gutsy.
apparently, that's what they're meaning about at the draft. Is they're saying, okay, foot down, what's happening? And there's 3 different scenarios. They either come in with 1 team, 2 teams. They look at relocation, or they say we're not going to expand. And I really hope they don't expand because we've talked about this relentlessly. It's going to dilute the talent pool that's already been diluted enough.
All right, we got to
Yeah,
move on.
I'm not. No, I agree.
What?
Are we hoping there's no expansion?
I would rather them relocate 2 teams than add 1.
That's yeah. I
Or
want to
2.
relocate and a closure.
You know what I realized? I was looking.
Get
through,
rid of 2 teams while you're at it.
I was looking at Hockey DB. This is the longest period in the NHL for quite some time that they haven't added a team. Like, they were in the 90s, they were like, take a team away, add 2 teams. Take a team away. Like, they added Columbus, Nashville, Atlanta, all in, like, San Jose, all in the span of, like, 10
San
years.
Jose, Tampa, Ottawa.
Yeah, all in, like, the span of, like, 10 years. They
There's
added
a lot.
all these teams. And it was never like, oh, we're going to add 6 at one time, like they did in 1967. Like, nope. 2 here, 1 this year, take a year off, add another year. Oh, Columbus, you get a team. In the 90s, it was like Oprah. Hey, you get a team, you get a team, you get a team, you get a team.
Winnipeg,
Everyone
you
gets
lose
a
your
team.
team.
Same
Lose
with
your
Quebec.
team, Atlanta. Lose your team and get them back again and again.
And Quebec and Hartford also lost their team in the 90s as well. All those teams lost.
True.
Yep. 3 teams were relocated. There's only been 1 relocation since.
Minnesota lost and gained a team in the 90s.
I think that was early 2000s, actually.
They was
The Minnesota Wild? I thought they were
99.
2002.
same year as Columbus.
Oh, I thought they were 2002.
No,
Okay.
same year as Columbus.
I remember when Columbus and
I
the
thi-
Wild
actually,
and
I
the
thi-
Thrashers came out in Nashville with the cereal boxes that had those cool holographic
Yeah.
stickers. It's like, yeah, and it'd like zoom in, zoom out.
The Predators had the coolest jerseys.
I think
out of them all.
Nashville was 98, Thrashers 99, and Wild Blue Jackets were 2000. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Got-
sure it's that one.
Either way, like, this is the longest period they've gone without
Yep.
expanding. Which doesn't mean they should expand. Nonetheless, moving on. We had a few corrections from last week. Because we
did. A certain former Oiler fan.
I think he's still. I think he has
he's
to be
still an Oiler fan.
I think he has to be still an Oiler fan. But
Actually, yeah, he
continue.
corrected us. Goaltender, backup, who didn't lead the Oilers to a cup. Esa Markkanen, not
Ty
Ty
Conklin.
Conklin. And the Smith we were thinking about was, in fact, Jason Smith.
Yeah.
Former Flyer captain.
I don't know where you got Fernando Pisani from.
No, Fernando Persani was the guy sitting on the bench.
Oh,
who,
okay.
when he got hurt. Todd Marchant? Todd Marchand.
Marchment.
Marchment? I thought it was
Marchment.
Marchand.
Marchant?
It was Marchand.
Marchment.
Toddy Marchman. That guy?
Marchment.
That guy, Todd.
We'll call him Todd,
He's
number
gonna have to
25
co-
for the Edmonton Oilers.
There's going to be
Agree
another
to agree.
correction next week
Agree
now.
to agree, Todd.
Marchment.
Yeah.
Todd M.
Yes, Todd
Why,
M.
why was he one of the guys?
I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Todd Marchment, and I
Todd
said
was
that.
that guy. I forgot what we were even talking about at this point.
Wow, if this is their first episode listening, they're like, these guys have done this 96
It
times.
was probably their first and last.
Yes, exactly. Didn't we have a hate comment, you said?
Well, we did, but yeah. Oh yeah, Kate.
Well, read the hate
Memorial
comment now.
Cup.
Give it to
Oh,
us.
Memorial Cup.
3-2, London Knights. And soon to be Winnipeg Jet superstar, Matt Tkachuk got the winner. London Knights did not lose for 63 games.
How is he going to be a Winnipeg Jets
they're
superstar?
gonna draft him second overall. The prophecy
I'm
is
not-
coming full circle, guys. I want to see Winnipeg walk up and pull a Shifley again.
Guys,
We select from the London Knights. Don't you do it. You're right, I'm not. Oli Uelevi. No, what? What? And we traded Jacob Trouba to the Colorado Avalanche for a 4th round pick. No! And then he just drops the mic
And Chris
walks.
Thornburg is our new captain.
Intro. Theme song.
We just
Stone
traded.
Cold Steve Austin?
We just traded Jacob Trouba for Matt Duchene.
No, what's that? Oh yeah, no, and then draft Kachuk
And
too.
then draft.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, about Kachuk. He could end up on a line with Christian Dvorak with the Arizona Coyotes, which means they could have Christian Dvorak, Matthew Kachuk on one line, Max Domi, Anthony Duclair on another line, with Brendan Perlini somewhere in there, and then Shane Doan somewhere as well, because let's be honest, we're going to sign Shane.
Hey! Speak of the Donesman! No shit. Okay, you know I told you I had the greatest comment in the world
Yes.
ever? Okay, I gotta get it going here. It's on rotate.
You're really pausing the
Okay.
worst podcast ever. If anybody ever if this was our big chance,
Published
we blew
November
it.
25th. I don't know what episode that was, but it was a long ass fucking time ago. No land called Kickapoo.
Somebody commented that long ago.
Great. From 2 days ago, we commented on episode 25. Gregory
That's
Doan.
like 2 years ago.
Gregory Doan, an old man with a beard who looks like he belongs on Duck Dynasty, wrote Shane rocks. Dude,
That's all it says.
Shane rocks. Gregory Doan, Shane rocks. Because it's the Shane Doan is a past episode, and he literally just wrote Shane rocks. I was like, yeah, there it is.
That's the comment that makes us big, guys.
Oh.
Shane rocks.
Love it.
Shane rocks from Gregory.
He's one of the players that you don't want to play against, but you'd love on your team.
The Jets should get him.
No, they
I
should.
would have loved him on my team like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Very true.
Now, not so much.
Okay. So, you guys ready to play a couple games here?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So let's pick the outcast player that was picked by, let's just say, the outcast rookie for the Boston Bruins that's now on a contending team that's not on a shipwreck called the Boston Bruins. Think about this for a second. The Boston Bruins right now could have a combination of either Joe Thornton, Phil Kessel, and Blake Wheeler, or Tyler Seguin, Joe Thornton, and Blake Wheeler as their first line. Their three centermen could be Joe Thornton, Krejci, and Patrice Bergeron.
We've played this Boston game before. What they could have had.
How the fuck do they screw that up? They're just like, hey, good young talent. Let's get rid of them.
There was one time when the top 4 scorers in the league were Jamie Benn, who was a draft pick they traded away, Tyler Seguin, who they traded away, Blake Wheeler, who they traded away, and David Krejci, who still plays for them. They could have had all 4 of them. That happened this year. Like All-Star break time.
I don't know what was in the water or in the dressing rooms. There was an ominous spirit. But in the Stanley Cup final of 2011, Satan was there in the full force, like, oh, these teams are screwed for the next 2 decades. Guys, buckle up. Like, seriously.
Because
both our teams suck so bad, and they're probably not going to be relevant again for like a decade.
Which sucks for Tuukka Rask because he deserves a cup again. Another one.
No, he
deserves
doesn't.
to be
He
started.
got a
Got
cup.
one.
No, but he wasn't the starter on the team.
He'll get one. Just
Doesn't
not there.
matter.
Can he come to Toronto and they can win a cup with
Up in
Tuukka Rask?
Limco? Oh, you mean they reacquired Tuukka
Yeah,
Rask?
they reacquire him. That was the worst trade. That's the only actual trade they've done that's helped their team in recent memory.
Where's this game? What game are we playing right
We're
now?
playing the game of how stupid are the Boston Bruins.
I think we're playing the game of Greg just driving himself crazy.
Exactly. With just stupid
With other
moves.
teams.
With other
So
teams.
basically, they could have 4 or 5 of the top 10, 15 players in the league right now.
Yep.
It
Essentially.
doesn't work like that though, too. Like again,
When they traded those guys,
they got the cup.
Yeah.
They got it, and they also pooched their team for the next.
And when
2
they traded
decades.
Seguin, he was half the player
The
he is
thing
now.
I
When
don't
they traded
get-
Wheeler, he hadn't been given a chance to be a top line.
But
he was
it's-
number 46, Blake Wheeler.
The thing I don't
No,
get.
wait, no, he
He was
wasn't.
26.
26. Never
The
mind.
thing I don't get is how do you trade Joe Thornton? He did nothing wrong in Boston. They're just like, nope, sorry, go to San Jose.
Because he was there for so long and they never won anything.
Yeah.
The same reason that every player gets traded after a while.
Except,
Just saying.
including Jerome McGinley. Who
No,
also
Jerome just waited too long.
played. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd really like to see? If, let's say, Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau don't win, that they go out, they get Jerome McGinley somehow from Colorado, and all those guys can just win a Stanley Cup together,
And they retire at the same time.
and they retire at the same time. Now, let's play the game.
I would buy that retirement tour T-shirt. Back.
That would be
I would.
amazing.
I would.
Let's play the game of Which New York Ranger player or which New York Ranger free agent is going where? Okay. Dan Boyle.
Retirement.
Phoenix.
Because they have no money.
Arizona.
They have no money. So.
Okay.
And they're also open for business, apparently.
Okay.
Keith Yandel.
Resign.
How?
Montreal.
Money.
Ooh. Which brings me to another point.
Okay.
Last, but certainly not least, Eric Stahl. $8 million contract currently.
Where is he going to go?
Where's he going to go?
Taking a pay cut. It's going to be 5.
Calgary.
That's a good one.
Damn it. You know what? I will counter his. Edmonton.
They can't afford him.
Yeah, definitely. If he takes a pay cut, he can.
But he won't.
What?
Like, Calgary can pay him big money, I think.
Why would he take... He's not worth 8.
If he's going to take a pay cut, why not...
Actually, if Milan Lucic is asking for 7, Stahl could get
If he's going to take a pay cut, why doesn't he go to a team that's actually going to win a Stanley
That
Cup?
makes no sense to me, the Milan Lucic thing. Either way.
No
my
teams
opinion,
that are ready to win or have the money.
No.
My opinion, Dan Boyle, Vancouver. Why? Because of reasons.
Why logic?
Keith Yandel, back to Arizona because they've got a shit ton of moolah they need to spend and they'll overpay for it.
And him and Oliver will make sweet, sweet, poetic love on the ice.
Eric Stahl, I have no clue. I really, that's the only one that stumps me.
I want to throw
Where's
another
Eric Stahl
Vancouver...
from? Ontario?
Yeah, he's from Thunder Bay.
Buffalo.
No, they already have Ryan O'Reilly and Jack Eichel.
I'm going to throw another Vancouver
Ottawa.
one on the board. I'm going to throw another Vancouver on the board. Lucic.
Yes, of course.
Apparently he's
Because
also
reasons.
willing to go to Edmonton if they give him the right offer.
He wants 7.
7 mil?
Yes.
Here's my thing.
He's
is,
everyone wants a
I'd give-
Lucic. He is Lucic.
I'd give him 5, maybe?
That's
Here-
reasonable.
Here's the
Maybe.
biggest thing, because these contracts and these guys, let's say Dan Boyle signs a Stefan Robida type deal where it's like 3 years, $3 million. This is your last contract you're ever getting in the NHL.
Does he break his leg too?
With a no movement clause, cannot be selected in the expansion draft. So if these guys sign contracts that have no movement clauses,
He
like
can't. He's
Dustin
over
Buffalo,
35. You don't get 35. You don't get no movements when you're over 35.
do you get no
Check
trades?
how old Boyle is.
No, he's over 35.
Yeah,
He's like
when you're
37.
over
he's like-
35,
he's like
you don't
38.
have no movement clause. You can't.
See-
It's not in your contract. So he could get picked.
He won't, though.
He won't.
He won't.
But a guy like Eric Stahl, who's still like 31, could sign a no movement clause, and the team could be like, well, we want him for a year, see how it works, and if it doesn't work, we want to get rid of him. It's going to be very interesting how certain players get signed, especially guys like Jacob Trouba, and because a lot of contracts now are the first 2 years, you're a free game, and then you get a limited no trade and then a full no trade. It's kind of what I've seen on General Manager as they break it down very nicely, because that's normally what happens with contracts. Which means certain players like Marc-Andre Fleury are on no movement clauses, which means that it'll be a lot tougher to get rid of those guys when it comes time to actually trade them. So Eric Stahl, Eric Stahl, New Jersey.
The Stahl saga, eh?
That's all I can
Jordan leaves Pittsburgh to go to Carolina. Eric leaves Jordan all alone in Carolina to go to New York, and now they're all going to be on different teams.
Most likely, yes.
Don't forget about Jared.
Who? Exactly.
Leading into
Which Rangers because they apparently are willing to trade anybody except for Lundqvist. Who's going? Who's gone?
Chris Kreider. He
You
brings
think?
you the most bang for your buck apart from Stepan, and they're keeping Stepan because they need a number 1 center.
Apparently everybody's fair game.
JT Miller. Young, and we know how New York doesn't like young players.
True, it's a great point.
T. Miller.
Yep. Okay.
Last thing, free agency is coming up, as we just discussed with the New York Rangers. And we've talked about bonehead moves that Boston's done. Who's going to be the stupid person that picks Steven Stamkos? And the only reason why I say stupid is because I've now bought into the idea, and I don't mind him with whatever team he signs, but I don't like the idea that he needs to get paid top dollar for a guy that, let's be honest, hasn't really been healthy for the last 3 years. Sochi broke his foot that season.
Thanks, Doug.
This year,
No,
blood
he
clot.
broke his leg.
Broke his leg, sorry. Blood clot. Do you really want to sign a guy that we don't really know his health for $12 million?
I was thinking about that.
It's kind of hard to going into the goalpost feet first against them, though.
No, I'm
No,
not.
we know
But-
that, but
The blood clot thing is unfortunate, and it could be a potentially big problem for him.
How
for the rest
tough
of his
is
career.
that? How tough is that for a team to say, I really want to sign him for $12 million? You know what he can do. He can score 60, but does risk of, I'm going to have a guy on my books for long-term IR, like Columbus did with Nathan Horton, now Toronto does, who was a good, serviceable player, but now he's useless to me because we have all this contract and we have to pay him it out. Mm-hmm. As Cam said earlier in the podcast, or I think it was in the podcast, teams should look at signing him 3 years instead of 8 years.
yeah, as like a rental serviceable. Hey, let's see if it'll happen.
And maybe that's what Tampa Bay should do.
Maybe that's all he gets.
I have a feeling that he'll get what he feels he's worth, but I think a lot of it will be his agent barking in his ear saying, "No, don't take $5 million, don't take 5 years, don't take 6 years. You want security." If it's going to be $10 million for 3 years, it might as well only be like $7 million for 8 years, because I'm not taking that risk as a GM saying, I'm going to put all my eggs in this basket, especially for teams like Winnipeg who could get Patrick Laine, have a great center in Mark Scheifele, have a good, some serviceable players like Kyle Connor, and they have a good young core. Why bring a guy that's going to be hurt the entire time and eating up those minutes that those guys could have developing?
And like that,
And same with
Steven
Toronto.
Stamkos is a guy, when he comes back, you can't just like baby him into it. Like, he's back. That's it. And so suddenly those kids who are developing and doing great with like 12 to 15 minutes are suddenly back to 8 to 10 minutes. And it's like, they're not doing as good because they can't really get into the groove.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a team like Winnipeg, given if he would even want to come to the Jets, that issue aside, they're not going to fork over $12 million for him because they're going to have money down the road, and they don't need the boost that signing Stamkos would do just for the morale of your hockey team around your city. Toronto needs a boost. That's a negative place to be around right now, especially the last couple of years. And I think I'm not going to say they're dumb enough, but if they pay big money for them, that'll get people buzzing.
I think
People will be talking about them.
I think the Stamkos to Toronto train is almost dead. As now they have the first overall pick with Austin Matthews. They have depth down the middle now with signing Kadri long term. They have Bozak still long term. Right now, then here's the other issue, is he needs to go to a team that's ready to win now. Because, let's be honest, Toronto's still 5 years away from being a for sure, like, LA or Chicago potential. Like, that's their potential is
They're
5 years from now.
from being, we're in the playoffs every year.
Exactly.
That's what they are from. Yeah.
And Stamkos is 25, so he'll be 30. So he'll be just leaving his best years. His best years will be on a team that might get to the playoffs, versus his best years should be on a team that's going to the Stanley Cup every year.
Stamkos is only 25?
He's a year older than us.
Yeah, 25 or
I thought he was
26.
older than that.
No, he's a year older. He was drafted in 08. But it goes to the same line with John Tavares, who right now is with New York Islanders. And they're hitting their stride now, which they built for now. And that's what you got to do. You got to have all your best players built for now. That's why him to Winnipeg isn't far-fetched. Him to Detroit, also very likely. Him to Montreal makes the most sense.
On the Detroit thing, there was an article on the weekend that they are trying to get rid of Pavel Datsuk's contract, and apparently Datsuk's saying, go ahead, do what you have to do.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Because
Arizona.
that's a 7 point whatever million cap hit. They're shopping his contract along with a roster player because they want to go after Stamkos.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's
so
a lot of rumors.
My number one picks would be Detroit, but also Montreal, because you was talking dark place, need a turnaround. Also, Montreal hired a very credible, serviceable assistant coach, sparking the fire under Therrien. Kirk Muller, assistant coach to St. Louis Blues.
I love the first thing that the Montreal media said. Oh, est-ce que tu parles français?
No,
he's
hold
like,
on.
Is that one not what it was? Can you talk?
Oh,
Can you
for
speak
sure.
French?
Can you speak French? But here's where you can get away with it. He played as he was a Hab.
Exactly.
That's the what? Oh, I'm so happy. So happy. There's not any other stipulation around like any other team, just Montreal. You shoehorn yourself into literal, like,
Hell.
yeah.
If they cannot hire a non-English speak or a non-French speaking coach, otherwise he gets ostracized. Sorry.
Ostrated.
Ostrated. I don't know what that is.
Sounds bad.
It is bad. Still makes no sense to have Tyrion on the bench. But if they get Kirk Muller, I think he's tremendous. And as he put in his press conference, he said, it doesn't matter what language I speak as long as we're winning. If they get a guy like Stamkos to play alongside with a guy like Max Pacioretty with Alex Galchenyuk on the wing, because Kirk Muller will be like, no, Tyrion, don't be stupid. Galchenyuk, Pacioretty, Stamkos. That's your first line.
And do what Stammer's been doing when he does play. He has 2 centers with him, so if he sucks at the faceoff, because sometimes when he gets on his scoring streaks, he's on the off wing, guys. Yeah. Guess what? Galchenyuk can also take faceoffs.
Yes. And Pacioretty can play both right and left wing.
Yeah.
And then now you can slide a guy like Desharnais down the lineup.
With Gallagher, who would be beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Plekanec, too.
Yeah. Yep. It creates more depth and really makes a team that's... and here's the other point is, right now, the rumor is PK Subban's getting shopped around. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually happens, but there's a lot of rumors that he could go to Toronto Maple Leafs.
PK?
For what? I don't even want to know. That's a discussion for another
That's
day.
a discussion for another day.
Okay.
That's my heart saying I want
Next
him to try.
podcast, we come back. Is the Stanley Cup going to be over? And will there be a
When's the last game?
Monday will be the last game
Then
of the
yes,
Stanley
for
Cup.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
will be
for
over.
sure.
It will be over.
Is
Yes,
it going to be?
it will.
Is it going to be California or Pennsylvania? California for the 3rd time in 6 years.
I want to say California, but
Oh,
I've
wait.
got a bad
Are
feeling.
they going to complete the trifecta?
I want to say California, but I have a bad feeling it's going to be Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing, is I want it to be California as well, because they could be the first state ever. Now, granted, it wasn't a calendar year technically. Well, actually, sorry, yes, in a calendar year that all 4 major sports were awarded in the same state. The Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the NBA Championship, all in 2016. They could be the first state
Technically,
ever.
the Super Bowl wasn't won by a team.
No,
from
but it was awarded
California.
in that. It was awarded
Hey,
in that
Greg,
state.
Who won the World
off-
Series last year?
You mean this year? No, it's this year.
Last year was Kansas City, but this year it could be San Francisco.
It will be
Giants.
the Giants. It will be. That's no.
And Golden State right now is running away
100%.
with the NBA championships, and San Jose could do it.
I actually read a cool
That's
stat.
awesome.
Since in 99, Dallas was the first Sun Belt team, quotations, to win the Cup. Since then, 38% of Stanley Cup champions have been from that area.
And then
That
And they
area-
have 38% of
The
fans.
area that hockey shouldn't be in, almost 50% of the Stanley Cup winners have come
you're in a
from there.
better mood to go watch hockey because you're in the sun all day. Beautiful.
I'm
You
just
know, time to go cool down. Watch
Dallas, Carolina, Tampa, Los Angeles,
Anaheim.
hockey.
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Who
There
else?
you go.
Dallas.
Los Angeles again.
Los Angeles twice.
All right. Closing words.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to episode 96. We took you on a journey that might have been rough at times, but we hope you enjoyed. If you did, and you want to find out more about us, look at our Twitter at LastManInPC on Twitter. Email the show at lastmaninpc@gmail.com.
Greg, don't. If you come across this ever,
Check us
shoot
out.
us a message.
If you want to download the podcast, check us out on iTunes or Google Play. And if you want to listen to the video portion of this, check it out on YouTube. Last Man In Podcast is where you'll find us on all those platforms.